Databases allow you to collect and categorize information so that you can easily find things later. This makes them great at organizing things like notes, ideas, and research, but you can also use them to manage tasks, projects, and much more. Okay, so here we have a database that I'm using to organize a bunch of recipes, and you can see that I've categorized them according to dish type, ethnic origin, and rating. The great thing about databases is that we can filter, group, and sort based off of these tags that we've created. So for example, let's say I wanted to see all of the recipes that have the entree tag. To do that, I just click on the filter button here, and then I click on the Add Filter Condition button. And then I'm already selected on the field that I want to filter by, and now I just need to choose the entree tag. And just like that, now I can see all of the recipes that have the entree tag. Now, the cool thing about filtering is that we can actually filter by multiple conditions at the same time. So, for example, let's say we wanted to find all the dishes that also have the Italian tag. To do that, we just click on the Add Filter Condition again, and then we want to select the Ethnic Origin field and then select the Italian tag. And now we can see all of the recipes that have both the entree tag and the Italian tag. If I want to see the actual recipe itself, all I have to do is just click on it. And now I can see all the notes, ingredients, and instructions related to this recipe. If I don't want to see this anymore, I can just click the X icon here. Okay, so if we want to stop filtering, all we have to do is click on the filter button again, and then click on these trash icons here. Okay, so now let's talk about grouping for a second. So the cool thing about grouping is that we can take any of these fields and group all of the recipes according to these various tags. So for example, let's say I wanted to group according to ethnic origin. All I need to do is come over here, click on the group button, and then select the field that I want to group by, in this case the ethnic origin field. And just like that, now I can see all of the recipes nice and neatly organized according to their ethnic origin tag. Another cool thing about the grouping feature is that we can group by multiple things at the same time. So let's say we want to also group by the dish type. And now what it's doing is it's first organizing according to ethnic origin. So we have our Japanese recipes, and then it's grouping all of the Japanese dishes according to their dish type. So for example, we have 3 entree dishes, 2 sides, and so on. All right, to stop grouping, just like the filter, just click these little trash icons. And now let's talk a little bit about sorting. So let's say we wanted to sort the recipes according to rating. All we need to do is click on the sort button here and then select the rating field. And immediately we can see all of the recipes sorted from 1 star all the way to 5 stars. If we wanted to flip this around, all we have to do is click here and change it from last to first. Now, one quick note about the sorting, it's not actually sorting according to alphabetical order. It's actually sorting these tags according to the order that we set them up in here. So if we wanted to sort them in a different way, we could rearrange this by drag and drop, and then it would order from first to last, starting this way going down, or from last to first going that way. So that is how the sorting feature works. So we'll just leave that for now, and we'll go ahead and shut this off as well. And now let's come take a look at another database example here. So in this case, we're looking at a task manager, and you can see that I have this category field, so I can see whether the task is a work or personal task, and then we have a priority field and a status field. So another cool thing about the filter, group, and sorting features is that we can use them all at the same time. So for example, let's say we wanted to first group everything according to the category so that our work tasks and our personal tasks are separated. So we can just come over here, click on the group button, and then select the category field. And right away we can already see that this is a lot more organized. But now let's also sort according to priority. So we'll click on the sort button and select the priority field, and that's great, and first to last is fine. But the last thing I want to do is I want to filter out the items that are done, since I don't really need to see those anymore. So I can just come over here, click on the filter, and I want to select the Add Filter Condition, and then we want to choose the status field, and then we only want to see the records where the status is not done. And now it's going to hide all of the items that have the done tag. So as things are going along, we get tasks done. We just press enter to pull up those tags, and when we say choose the done tag, that item will disappear from our task list. So that's just an example of using all the filter, group, and sorting controls at the same time. One other quick example I want to show you is a book project example. So in this case, we have all of our chapters here. If we want to see the chapter, just like with the recipes, we just click on it. We can pull it up. And then we also have a field here. It's just a simple text field, and we can have the summary for our chapter. And then I've got this status field here where I can see the status of each chapter. And this is just really handy for kind of seeing where everything's at. If I want to group according to status, I can just do that really quickly. I can see all the chapters that I haven't started working on yet. I can see all the ones I'm currently writing, the ones I'm currently editing, proofreading, and the ones that are done. So it's really great for managing projects as well. So that's just another quick example. All right, now that we understand a little bit about how useful databases can be, let's dive in and create one. So there are two ways to create a database. One way is to click on the New Database button here in the sidebar, but you can also come over to the Library panel here, and then you can click on the Databases tab, and you can click on the New Database button here. Both these buttons do exactly the same thing, so it doesn't really matter which one you click. So we'll just click on the New Database button here. And then to give this database a name, we can just come over here and click on the little pencil icon. And in this example, we're going to be recreating the recipes database. So I'll call it recipes 2, and then press enter to confirm the name. You can also rename the database by clicking here, or you can click on the title and rename it there if you want. Okay, so you'll notice right away that our database comes pre-populated with 2 different fields. And a field is essentially a column in a database that allows you to record just one type of data. So in the first field of this database, we can see we have a pages field, and that just allows us to put pages in the database. And then in the next field over, we have what is called the multiple select field. And essentially, this just allows us to create these tags, which we can then add to any of the cells in this database. And you can add 2 or more, basically, in a multiple select field. In the next field over, we have the single select field, and it's essentially the same thing as the multi-select, except that you can only add 1 tag. And the same thing with the rating field over here. Each recipe is only going to have 1 rating. So now let's recreate this in our database over here. So we've already got a pages field, so all we have to do is just click on the 3-dot icon here, select edit field, and then we can give this a new name. So in this case, we'll call it recipes. So we can just click save changes. And then in this field, we want to rename this one to dish type. We can click save changes as well. And now we need a new field. So we'll click the new button. And this is going to be our ethnic origin field, which will be a single select field. So we'll call this ethnic origin. And let's go ahead and add some tags for this one. So we'll just add our first 3. So we'll say Japanese, Mexican, and Italian. And if you want to add in the emojis, you can do that as well. So we'll just add in a few emojis here real quick. This kind of makes it easier to see what's what. And then we'll go ahead and add our colors as well. Okay, and then we'll save the changes. And finally, let's add our rating field. So this is another single select, and we'll add some options here. So let's do another emoji. So we'll do a star, and then we'll copy this. So Command C, and then hit enter to add a new tag. Paste, paste. Just do this a couple times. Okay, and then I like to make these blue so that I can see the emojis a little bit better. Okay, and then we want to give this field our name, so rating, and then we can save the changes there as well. All right, so now let's add a new recipe to this database. So if we want to create just a brand new page directly in this database, we can just select the field like I just did, and then we can just type the name of the new recipe. So maybe miso soup. So this is going to create a new page when I hit enter. So now we have our new page, and then I can click on it, and we can come over here and give it a title. So we'll hit the /, and then let's go with a heading 1 and call it miso soup. And then we could put our recipe instructions and ingredients in there. For now, we're just going to skip that, so we'll just kill this. And now we can start categorizing this. So all we have to do is click on the cell and then press enter, and this will pull up the options we've already created. So in this case, we'll choose 5 stars because we like miso soup, and then we'll choose the Japanese tag. Now for the dish type, we didn't create any tags for this field yet, but you can actually create tags directly right here just by typing and pressing enter. So in this case, miso soup is a side dish. So we just type side and press enter. And now we have a new tag in this field. And if we want to edit the tag, we just click on the edit field, and then we can change the color if we want, and then press save changes. Another thing you can do is you can add a page to a database from anywhere else in the app. So for example, we could come over to the Pages tab here, and we could just drag in this focaccia bread recipe. And now we have that recipe in our database, and we can tag it just like the other one. So we'll add the side tag. This is an Italian recipe, and we'll give it 5 stars as well. Okay, a few other things before we finish up. If you want to add more recipes to this database, you can either drag them in like we've shown, or you can click on the Add Row button and create a brand new recipe. You can also create new rows by just pressing Shift-Enter. So anywhere you're selected, it'll create a new row directly underneath the selected cell. So if I wanted to create a new row directly beneath miso soup, just select this cell and press Enter. If you want to delete rows, you can click on the 6-dot icon here and select Delete Row. So we'll get rid of these. You can also rearrange rows by drag and drop, by dragging from here. So we can change the order like that. If you want to remove a page from a database, you can just delete the row. And essentially, this will remove the page, but it won't delete the page. As you can see over here, we still have that page in our account. It just removed it from this database. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this tutorial.